Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm so happy that you decided to come hang out with me. I do hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned anyway. Today we're going to be talking about all things nude lipstick. We're going to keep it just drugstore only because y'all know I'm a drugstore girl. I love my drugstore makeup, and the less money I can spend on set makeup, the happier camper I am. I have quite an array for you guys today. I feel like there's no such thing as too many lipsticks. Now, if you guys have ever seen a picture of my lipstick collection, it would probably blow your mind just a little bit. I have honestly got to say that I probably got close to like, I want to say close to like 250 tubes of lipstick, maybe 150 tubes of lipstick, but it's a lot. It's like I legitimately have like, I have boxes of it, guys. Like I have boxes. I'm not, and that's not to brag, that's not to anything. That is just to simply let you guys know that I think of myself as a little bit of a drugstore lipstick aficionado. I pretty much have it all. And when it comes to nudes, it seems like I spent the longest time on the search for that perfect nude. Like, and you need it, there's a nude for all occasions, okay? So you've got nude when you're trying to go glam, you've got cool tone nudes, you've got warm tone nudes, you've got peachy nudes, you've got mauve nudes, you've got pinky nudes, you've got brownie toned nudes, you've got it all. And I think in the assortment that I pulled out today and I'm going to share with you guys, I think there is legitimately a little bit of everything. There should be at least one lipstick here for everybody. I have an assortment of classic lipsticks. I have an assortment of liquid lipsticks. I have everything from matte to satin to like glossy, shiny lusciousness, and I'm super, super excited. I'm really excited about the concept for this video. I've not really seen anything quite like it. So I do hope that I'm one of the first to get a video like this up. And I do hope that you guys really enjoy and find this video to be at least somewhat illuminating. Like I said, everything is drugstore. Everything is super, super affordable. And I have quite a range of brands here as well. So let's just go ahead and jump right into everything. I'm going to start with what I've got on my lips right now. And then as I pull the lipsticks out, we will kind of swatch and talk about undertones and all that good stuff. So today I went with a really, really beautiful warm toned kind of very kind of sexy autumnal kind of look. I really am in love with it. I think it is so pretty. I used the OPV Spotlight eyeshadow palette. I got this in one of my BoxyCharms, in the first BoxyCharm I ever got. And I have to tell you, this is the most beautiful neutral palette. I mean, it's not neutral, but it's kind of like a nude palette, but oh my goodness, it is so absolutely stunning. Not only is it the most beautiful neutral palette with like a pop of blue, but there's a duochrome in here as well. It is so freaking pretty. I love the warm tones in here. I love that this side is more warm and this side is more cool. You've got pops of blue, green, and pink. There's a little bit of everything in here, and it is so stunning. You've got all these absolutely beautiful shimmers over here. You've got all these really beautiful warm toned mattes over here. I honestly think this is one of the most beautiful palettes ever made. I have which shades do I have? So I have this shade on, I have this shade on, and I have this shade on, as well as a little bit of the black. And then all over my lid, I have this shade on with a little bit of this one on the outer corner. Super beautiful. I am so into it. I think it's stunning. I'm very happy with how my makeup turned out today. But if you're in the market for an absolutely stunning kind of like jewel toned neutral palette, I think this is a really good pick. I'm not sure how much it costs because again, I got it in my BoxyCharm, but it's so pretty. I am like the world's biggest advocate for this palette because it's just absolutely one of my favorites. So I have that on. And for my skin, I just have to let you guys know because I am so in love with this foundation right now. This is the Ouma by Sharon C Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation. Guys, this is absolutely a stunning, stunning foundation. I'm in the shade T5, Fair Lady T5. You want to talk about a flawless, like airbrushing, like I never use any kind of filters or anything on my videos. You guys know that. I'm very, very adamant about that. I feel like filters are very, very close to lies. So what you see is what you get. So I'm going to get really close to the camera and let you guys see my skin, and you can just kind of see for yourselves how fantastic it is. So y'all know that I have serious lines. I have lines on my forehead. I have lines under my eyes because I have big old chubby cheeks, and when I smile, they crinkle. So lines are still there. I have lines on my mouth right here, but I tell you what, my skin looks flawless. I have no pores anywhere. Nothing is exaggerated. Everything is smooth and covered and flawless. I love not only the coverage of this foundation, but the way that it feels on my face. I love the finish of it. It looks so skin-like. It's not matte, but it's not super dewy either. It just looks like skin. It goes on so, so easily. I've had this foundation on for... I put my foundation on, and then I went and I cooked dinner. I sat down and I ate dinner, and then I had a cup of coffee, and then I sat down and got all my stuff together. So I've had it on for a good probably 4 or 5 hours at this point, and it still looks this fantastic. I haven't touched up. I haven't added any powder. I haven't touched it since I put it on initially, and it still looks this beautiful. Now, you guys know I have super, super dry skin. A lot of times, my skin just kind of sucks the life out of a foundation, and by hour 4, I look like a dried up, dusty old mummy. I look crepey, and I look old, and it just kind of is what it is. This might be my new favorite foundation. Like full coverage, like foundation. This might be it. It is absolutely stunning. I wouldn't say that it's full coverage, but I do think that it is a solid medium coverage, and it's buildable. I think it's absolutely stunning. I am so in love with this foundation. I highly recommend you guys go check this out. This is, again, the Ouma by Sharon C. I'm in the shade Fair Lady T5. So fantastic. I love it so, so much. So for the lip combo I have on today, I have a lip liner and a lipstick on. So the lip liner I used today is the Revlon Color Stay. This is in the shade Chocolate, I believe. Yeah. So the Revlon retractable liner, lip liner in the shade Chocolate. Really beautiful, kind of like warm toned, chocolatey lip liner. It's nice and dark. I really prefer a darker lip line. I'm really into that 90s lip where you've got the nice defining lip liner, and then you've got a lighter color lipstick on the inside. I really feel like that's the way that you're supposed to do it. I feel like it's sexy, and I feel like it's kind of timeless as well. It never really goes out of style. It's always attractive to me, in my opinion, anyway. So this is pretty much the same color of lip liner that I use for all of my lips. I love a nice dark brown lip liner, and it's kind of just like my go-to shade. And then for the actual lipstick today, I have this one. This is the Maybeline Creme. Yeah, so this is just the Maybelline Creme lipstick in the shade 370 Spice for me. You want to talk about the most perfect warm-toned, kind of rusty, bricky, orangey, red nude, like you'll ever wear in your life. This is it. This is my absolute favorite warm-toned lipstick. It is the most beautiful rust color. I think it is perfect. It is perfect, and I feel like it would be perfect for so many skin tones. I feel like colors like this are so universal, but it is absolutely the most beautiful, the most perfect bricky neutral, the brickiest, browniest, rustiest. Oh, it is so perfect. It's got that like undertone of orange, but then there's also just a little hint of red in it, but then it's got that really beautiful like neutral overtone. And it's so warm. It's got that really rich warmth to it that I fall in love with every single time I put this on my lips. Now, I wanted a little bit more of like a matte lip today, and this is definitely not matte. This is a cream lipstick, so it's got kind of like that shiny, glossy finish on it. So what I did was I took a little bit of loose powder. You can use whatever loose powder that you like. I am testing this one right now. This is the new Hard Candy Chilling Wonder Powder Sheer Envy Loose Powder. It's hydrating. Guys, I love this powder. This powder is really, really good. I'm not ready to make my final statement on it today, but I will tell you that it is the powder that I'm wearing today. I have a really light layer dusted all over my face. I even used this powder to set my under eyes today. And you guys can like see for yourself how good my face looks. So I'm totally digging this powder. You need the smallest amount of it. It sets everything, it keeps everything in place, and it's kind of perfect for matting down any kind of lipstick. So all I did was I took a fluffy flat brush. This is one from BH Cosmetics. It's just a flat fluffy brush, and I kind of like I put a little bit in the cap and I swirled my brush around and I just kind of pressed it all over my lipstick. After I lined my lips, I put my lipstick on, and then I pressed the powder into the lipstick. It mattifies the lipstick down. It doesn't change because it's a translucent powder. It doesn't really change the color of the lipstick too awful much. So you still get the effect that you want, but it mattifies it down. So not only does it like stop it from moving around, because you guys know I have that problem with my lipstick migrating to the corners of my mouth, call it my bat wings, but it helps it last longer as well. So it's kind of like a win-win. If there's just that one color that is so perfect, but again, it's kind of shiny and you're wanting a matte effect, just press a little bit of translucent powder over your lips and it'll do the trick for you every single time. It is a trick that I live by. Love it so much. Y'all, if powder can mattify the face, it can mattify the lips too. And it just kind of really improves the lasting quality of the lips as well. I'm always super paranoid about my lipstick migrating, and this powder trick really stops that from happening. So win all across the board. Powder, check. So this is the absolute most beautiful warm toned lipstick you'll ever see in your life, and I definitely cannot talk for 11 minutes about each lipstick, so I'm gonna hurry it up. So again, this was the Maybelline Creme lipstick and 370 Spice for me. That's what it looks like. Absolutely perfect warm tone brown, rusty brown color. So I actually have another lipstick in the same formula. Again, this is the Maybelline Creme lipstick, but this is in the shade 373 Mauve for me. Now let's talk about Mauve lipsticks real quick. I'm going to swatch this for you guys real quick. Again, it's that semi-glossy kind of shade. I feel like a mauve lipstick will go with everything. A mauve lipstick is flattering for everyone. And mauve is one of those colors that's kind of universal. It can go with a purple eye, a green eye. It can go with a nude eye. It can go with a blue eye. Mauve is just because mauve is really just your lips, but better. I think a mauve is, when in doubt, go mauve. And that is like something I live by. I love a good mauve lipstick. But I like a neutral, not like a... Mauve, by its very nature, is like cooler toned, but there are neutral mauves as well. I would say that this is more of like a neutral mauve. It's not super cool toned, but it's not warm either. It's a very neutral mauve, and this is such a comfortable formula. Super affordable. Maybelline lipsticks usually are pretty affordable, and like I said, you can take it either way. You can mattify it down if you want to. You can wear it nice and glossy and juicy if you want to. Works really well with any kind of lip gloss. I just love it so much. I will say it's a cream formula. It is not the world's most long-lasting formula on the market, but it is so beautiful and super comfortable to wear. Now, while I'm talking about the mauve lipsticks, I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the mauves that I picked. Like I said, there are different undertones to mauves, and mauve lipstick is absolutely one of my favorites. So I'm going to go through all of my bullet lipsticks, and then we'll jump into the liquid lipsticks. So the next mauve that I have to talk about is, this is a Revlon. Now, I love Revlon lipsticks. They're not like the cheapest at the drugstore, but they're not the most expensive either. It's just a really tried and true. This is what I would call an OG drugstore lipstick. Just OG formula. They last really nicely on the lips. They're super comfortable. They're just like the epitome of an old school lipstick, and I love them. They don't really have a smell or a taste. They're just kind of super neutral. They wear comfortably and long last. They're just so great. One of my absolute favorite formulas. Now, this one right here is this is the matte version, and this is in the shade 048 Audacious Mauve. Now, this is the first mauve lipstick that I ever really fell in love with, and I'm about to show you why. It's matte, but it is the most beautiful, like, rosy mauve you've ever seen in your life. This is pretty much my lip color, but just a little bit darker. It's kind of a mauve, but it's leaning slightly on that, like, rosy berry, kind of, just slightly rosy, slightly berry. It's got that kind of rosy undertone to it, but then it's also got that little something extra that just gives it that little bit of richness, and that's why I attribute to it having just a little bit of a berry undertone in there as well. It is a beautiful, beautiful mauve lipstick. This goes with everything, and again, this is a super, super comfortable formula. It's matte, but it's not drying at all. You still get a nice slip on your lips. It works well with any kind of lip gloss, and it just wears for a really nice time. I find that these Revlon lipsticks don't really migrate too awful bad on me, but again, if it does migrate on you, you can just use that powder trick and it works every single time. But I love this. I wear this 9 times out of 10. If I have a mauve lipstick on, it's this one. So that was Audacious Mauve from Revlon. The next mauve lipstick I have to talk about is from Revlon again, but this is in the shade Sassy Mauve. Now, this is the cream formula, so whereas the one before was matte, this one has more of a shine and a shimmer to it. This one I would say is a little bit more cool toned. This one is definitely just a little bit, it's not, they're so similar, but this one has just a little bit of a different undertone. I would say that whereas this one is more pink, this one has got more of that like blue undertone to it, and again, it's a different formula. You probably, if you put these two on together, you probably wouldn't see a difference, but there is a difference in the finish. So whereas this one is matte, this one is like semi-gloss, and they're both really, really beautiful. The next one I have to talk to you guys about is, okay, so this one is from Rimmel. Now, Rimmel makes some absolutely stunning lipsticks as well. First of all, the packaging is super, super cute. Looks a lot like the Revlon one. Just a plain old classic black tube, only this one has silver hardware instead of gold. This is in the shade 80. This is the Lasting Finish lipstick in the shade 80 Rosetto. So it's absolutely stunning. This one has got kind of like that satin finish. But again, it's different from both of these. Very, very similar. But this one to me has more of like a peachy undertone. And I find that this one works a little bit better. It's not quite as cool toned. It's got just that little bit of warmth to it. And then I love the finish of it as well. This one does tend to migrate on me just a little bit more because the finish is just a little bit creamier. But still an absolutely stunning, stunning formula and a beautiful, beautiful mauve tone. The next ones I want to talk to you guys about are, I'm just going to get all of my Revlon ones out of the way. These are still Revlon, but these are different tones. So these are not mauves. These are like true nudes. So I have one with a little bit of warmth, a little bit cooler, and then I have a peachier one. So the first one I want to talk to you guys about is the 047 Dare to Be Nude. This one to me is just a true nude, very light, kind of peachy nude. Beautiful, beautiful nude, just nude. It is just the epitome of a nude, a peachy nude lipstick. This is in, again, it's in the matte finish, but it's so beautiful. It's not drying at all. It's so stunning. I love this one. I love to use this shade with a darker color. If I'm ever going to do like an ombre lip, this is my go-to inner portion. It just brings a little bit of that kind of light creamy creaminess. It's just such a beautiful creamy color. It's so stunning. It works well with a lot of other different colors. It's perfect for that ombre lip kind of thing. It just brings a nice amount of light, and then it's such a beautiful nude, like neutral color. It's not quite warm, but it's not cool either. It's just a really beautiful neutral peachy tone. Perfect and goes with everything. The next one I have is 001 Nude Attitude. This is matte as well, but this is an even lighter one. This is like super nude. Like, you want to talk about like a beige lipstick, but like a really beautiful peachy beige. I feel like it's got just a little bit of warmth to it. It's not a cool toned at all, but it's not really warm either. It definitely has more warmth to it than this one does. But again, super neutral, neutral lipstick. This again is perfect for like doing any kind of ombre lip. It's perfect for putting on the inner portion of your lips. Again, it wears beautifully, super, super comfortable. If you're looking for that really beautiful, like super, super neutral, super kind of like blank slate, almost concealer lips, but with a little bit more like dimension to them, I think that that color is absolutely perfect. Again, that is 001 Nude Attitude in the Revlon Super Lustrous Matte formula. The last Revlon lipstick I have to talk about is in the shade Mink. Now, I love, love, love this shade. This is the browniest one of the Revlons that I own, but it is an absolutely beautiful neutral brown. It's not cool, it's not warm, it is 100% neutral. Works so well with so many other like lip liners. This goes with so many eye looks as well, because again, it's a neutral color, so it's not going to pull warm, it's not going to pull cool, and it's just going to pull whatever you put it with. So if you put this with more of a cool toned eye look, it's going to pull more cool, but if you put it with a warm toned eye look, it's going to pull more warm. It really just kind of plays well with whatever else is on your face, and it is so, so perfect. Again, this is the Revlon Super Lustrous Cream formula in the shade Mink. So, so nice. Now I have some super, super cheap options. Now these are from Shop Miss A. These are $1 a piece. These are the AOA Perfect Lipstick or Perfect Creamy Lipstick. But I have two different shades of them. So this one is the shade Shore. This one is just, again, a perfect nude. It's got kind of that like peachier undertone, but this one I would say is more like of a rosy peach. This one, again, is pretty neutral. I would say that it could pull a little bit cooler if you wanted to, but again, just the neutrality of a good lipstick, and just like the versatility of a good neutral lipstick, is it cannot be overrated. And for $1, the formula of these is so, so beautiful. I wouldn't say that it's matte, but I wouldn't say that it's shiny either. I would say that there's a slight satin sheen here, but for the most part, I would say it plays more like a matte lipstick, and they're $1, guys. They're $1. You get a really, really nice amount of product in here. I have used the crap out of this and still have so much of it left to go. This is going to last you forever, and it's $1. It's $1, and you can't really beat it. It's really, really great. The formula, I would say it's a very classic lipstick, bullet lipstick formula. The longevity is really nice. Not as good as the Revlon, but still really, really nice. And then the next shade I have to talk about is the shade Bliss. Now this one, again, is this one's a little more mauve-y than the one before it was. See, this one's got more of that like mauve-y undertone, whereas this one is more of like a kind of peachy neutral shade. This one I would say pulls cooler and is much mauvier. I got that kind of like dusty rose undertone. So, so stunning. Guys, I think these lipsticks are closer to $6, and I would say that the formula is very, very, very comparable. So save yourself $5 and try some of these out and see if they work for you. It's $1. You're not going to be too mad about $1, and I promise you, you won't regret that purchase. They're so, so good. The next ones I have to talk to you about are absolutely some of probably my favorite lipstick formulas at the drugstore right now, and I know that these have blown up insanely here recently, but these are the Milani lipsticks. I have 3 different formulas. I have some of the matte fetish, I have some of the color fetish, and then I have some of the color statement lipsticks. I pulled 2 from each formula because it was really, really hard for me to kind of narrow down some of these, because I just love lipstick in general, and it's really hard for me to pick my favorites. Hence the reason that I have 100 lipsticks sitting on my desk right now. But we're just going to kind of dive into it. So the first one I'm going to talk about are the color statement lipsticks. First of all, the packaging is absolutely to die for. They feel so luxe. They feel so expensive. They feel rich, but they're really, really quite affordable. The packaging just on point. I like that you can see the color of the lipstick without having to like go in and open up the tube. So I like that they put that kind of feature there. I love the gold packaging, and then you've got the Milani kind of beveled into the packaging. Really, really nice metal tubing. This is the shade Matte Naked. This is like the mattest of the matte. Like, this is a true matte formula. Again, it manages to not be drying. It manages to be very, very comfortable, but it is very, very matte. You definitely don't need to powder these down. These are like, they're almost like a cream to powder. They just set and look so beautifully natural on the lips. I almost can't tell that I have lipstick on a lot of the times when I wear these. So this was the shade Matte Naked. Just a really beautiful, like very, very neutral, almost rosy toned nude, but it is so, so beautiful. The next one I have is Matte Beauty. Again, this is in the matte shade, the matte formula, but this one is, I would say, just a little bit cooler. It's got a little bit of that kind of peachiness to it. Maybe not cooler, but maybe a little bit more a warmer shade, because it's got just a touch of that peachiness to it. It looks very, very similar to this one. As you guys can see, I definitely have a color palette that I like to stick to, but this one is a fantastic option as well. That was the Milani Color Statement Lipstick in the shade Matte Beauty. The next ones I want to talk about are the one. Okay, so everybody went crazy about these lipsticks just a couple of months ago, and I think they're still like super sold out. But I have two different shades in this formula. So I have the shade Tease and I have the shades Passion. Tease is by far my favorite. It is the most beautiful, like warm camel color. Oh, it's like a peachy camel. I absolutely adore this shade. I wear this all the time. This with a slightly darker lip liner, and I just feel so, I feel sexy. I feel classy. I feel just on top of my game. And that just really, really does it for me. Not to mention that these smell like baked goods. They smell so beautiful. They smell like food in the best way possible. The packaging is absolutely stunning. They feel so expensive. You've got this kind of like almost enamel feeling kind of tube with the gold hardware. It just looks so, so nice. And they're just so nice. They smell like vanilla cupcakes. They're so good. I will say that the Color Statement lipsticks smell like watermelon. They smell fruity and delicious and so, so yummy. And then the last Milani formula that I have to talk about is the, oh, wait, I didn't show you the other matte one. So the other matte shade I have is Passion. This one is a darker shade. This one is like a very, very dusty kind of mauve rose color. Kind of, but with that brown undertone. So, so flattering. I actually wore this the other day to the doctor's office, and I got so many compliments on this shade. It just turns whatever look you pair it with into, like, it just makes it moodier and a little bit more, I want to say editorial, but it's not that. It just gives a little bit of edge, just because the color is so dark and just, it's so sexy. I love it so, so much. So yeah, so that's that color, Passion. The last formula I have is the Cream. This is the glossy formula, and I have the shade Lustful and Tied Up. Again, you guys can definitely see that I have a a color palette that I like to stick to. This shade I feel like is super, super unique though. To see it on in the tube, you don't quite notice its uniqueness until you really put it on your lips. But it is, I want to call it like a chocolate strawberry kind of, it's beautifully peachy, but it's got such, like, it manages to be neutral as well, because again, it's not super cool, but it's not super warm. I feel like this is another one of those things that probably pulls more warm than it does anything, but it's got this peachy red kind of undertone that looks so beautifully natural on the lips. And then I love the finish of this lipstick as well. So comfortable on the lips. I will say this tends to move around just a little bit more on me because again, it's a creamier kind of finish. So I have not tested powdering these down just because I enjoy the finish. Just make sure that you're checking your mirror. As with all lipsticks, they're all hazardous in their own ways. But this color is so, so beautiful and so, so unique. You can see in all of the other colors that I've swatched, this one really does stand out. It is such a special, special color. Again, that was the shade Lustful in the creamy fetish formula. The last Milani lipstick I have is in the shade Tied Up. I absolutely love this one as well. beautifully glossy. This one I would say is more of like a, it's like a cooler toned brown. It's a true brown. It doesn't really have any kind of like red undertones. This is, I want to say it's neutral, because in one light it looks very, very cool, and then in another it looks very, very warm. It's got like almost that like caramelly undertone to it. This is an absolutely stunning lipstick as well, and I wear this quite often. This just goes with just about anything. I could put this on with this look right now and it would look fabulous. So the next lipsticks I want to talk to you guys about are these ones. I forget which ones these are. Are these L'Oreal? I believe they're L'Oreal. L'Oreal Paris. Yeah, so this is the L'Oreal ColourRiche Nude Intense. So they have the ColourRiche Nude Lipsticks, and then they have the Nude Intense. I, by far, prefer the Nude Intense formula, not only because I think that the packaging is like A+, it's this really beautiful kind of like rose gold packaging. So, so beautiful. Again, you've got just the little touches on here. Just the little filigree, and then you've got the beveled logo. I think they're so, so beautiful. And then you have like the slightly tapered tops to them with the logo embossed on the top as well. And then on the bottom, you've got very clearly the color shade and name and number. These ones I feel like are so, so pretty. I feel very much about these ones like I do about that really, really special Milani shade. Let's start swatching on the other side. This, I think, has a really, really unique kind of shade to it as well. It's pinky and peachy. Really, really beautiful. It just reminds me of like a luscious kind of like, I don't know, it's just like a luscious, it's summer. It makes me think summer in a heartbeat. It's just that really beautiful kind of like pinky rose tone that is so, so stunning. This is one of those My Lip colors, but better shades. That is so, so beautiful. This formula is completely comfortable. It looks so good. Lasting power is really, really nice. And then the next shade I have is called Nude Excessive. Nude Excessive. I don't know, but it is the number 178. And this one is more of like a peachy nude. That is so, so beautiful. Again, it could pull warm, but it could be super, super neutral, just depending on what you pair it with. I love the like pure peach quality of this this color though. It's so, so beautiful. Again, it looks really, really beautiful with a slightly darker lip liner. And it just looks so natural and feels so comfortable on the skin. Both of those colors are absolutely beautiful. These are one of those lipsticks that are like intense one swipe pigment, like just make your lips look full and juicy, and just love it so much. One of the last bullet formulas I have to talk about are the Almay lipsticks. Now, I don't hear a lot of people talk about these. I know it's been 30 minutes already of me doing nothing but talking about lipsticks. But guys, lipstick is so important. I feel like sometimes finding the right lipstick color can either make or break a look. Sometimes the lip is what pulls everything together. And especially with nudes, because there's so many different undertones and finishes, it really, really helps to kind of be educated about what's out there so you can make the best choice possible. Speaking of, nobody ever talks about the Almay lipstick formula, and I think they're so fantastic. First of all, the packaging is absolutely stunning. It is more of like a cardboard paper packaging, which is not my favorite, but it is very, very cute. It's printed, and this one says, "Be strong." Really, really beautiful. This is an absolutely stunning mauve bricky color. I love this. This is kind of like one of my go-to deeper red colors, because it is just a really beautiful kind of deep toned rosy mauve with like a brick undertone to it. I absolutely love this shade. When you want to go red and you want to be kind of like dark and moody, but don't want to go super, super vampy, I find that this shade is perfect for that. You've got just enough depth, you know, and especially added to, again, a darker lip liner, just to kind of like slightly ombre everything up and add a little bit of dimension to the lips. This color just blends in so, so beautifully. And it gives you that kind of moody, slightly vampy look that you're going for without being too much and like too vampy. So I love that shade. And I love like the bricky undertone to it. So stunning. And then this one is just a deep kind of chocolatey brown. And I feel like you don't see that super often. Like just those really beautiful, rich, true brown lipsticks are few and far between, especially at the drugstore. And I feel like this one does it really well. It's just a beautiful, very opaque formula. I would say that this has, it's more of a matte formula because it's got like a thicker, moussier consistency on the lips. The wear time for this formula is incredible. I find that it doesn't like to migrate or move around on my lips very much at all, so it wears really well. And then it's just super opaque. It is an absolutely beautiful formula. I love this brown. Again, I will it's a good mixing shade as well because it's so neutral. You can kind of mix it with other things if you're trying to like deepen something up, or if you're going for that ombre lip, this is kind of perfect for the outer rim because it's just such a beautiful neutral rich chocolatey shade. So stunning. So this was in the shade Hit Snooze by Almay, and then the brickier mauve tone was in the shade Be Strong. So both of them really beautiful shades. And sniff, because y'all know I'm so stuffy and allergies are so insane. Like, I legitimately can't breathe right now. So that was all of my bullet lipsticks. I have 3 honorable mentions. Now, these are, I have 2 of the Maybelline Superstay Ink crayons, and then I have one from L'Oreal. So the 2 Maybellines I have are so pretty. I actually really like these. These are perfect for when I don't want to wear a lip liner or I'm just in a rush. They're great to keep in your purse or in the car or wherever because it's easy to be super precise with these. So you really don't have to worry about like staying inside the lines because they actually are so slim and have a really nice point on them. Super travel friendly. This is in the shade, I'm so blind, Lead the Way. This is from the Zodiac collection. So this is the Capricorn one. This is in the shade Lead the Way. Again, it's really beautiful, mauve, rosy, very cool toned nude. So pretty. I wear this shade quite often, and this is a beautiful kind of like one and done. I find that, like I said, you don't need to wear a lip liner with these because they're so precise when they go on. They're perfect, especially when you're in a rush and just want to throw something on your lips. This is really beautiful. And then I have a slightly warmer option. This is in the shade Enjoy the View. And this one has got more of like a, it's still kind of mauve, but this one has got more of like a rosy undertone to it. It's more pink, whereas this one has more of a blue-purple undertone. This one has more of like a red-pink undertone. And this one, I would say, is just a little bit warmer, and this one is a little bit cooler. So there's 2 options for you, and they're beautiful. They're both from the Zodiac collection. This is the Pisces, and this is the Capricorn. So Pisces and Capricorn, both really beautiful colors. Again, they're the Superstay Matte Ink crayons. So once they sit down, they don't move. I think that's the best thing about these is like they legitimately don't move. Wear time for these is absolutely incredible. They don't move, they don't migrate, they don't build up at the corners of my mouth. Once they sit down, they are there and they are there to stay until you take them off. They are not like 100% like food proof or like if you have a mask on for a super long time. They will rub off eventually, but they're super comfortable on the lips, and they are very wear resistant. So I love those so much. And that goes for any of the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink crayons or lipsticks or whatever. Just the formula in general is fantastic. One of my absolute favorites at the drugstore. This one is super new to me. I actually just picked this up the last time I went to Walmart, so I haven't had a chance to actually wear this yet, so I don't have much to say about it. But I did want to throw it up as an option compared to the Maybelline ones. If you have tried the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink formula and it just wasn't for you, this is very similar. I will say that this does not feel as creamy as the Maybelline ones do. So if you're looking for something that's maybe just a little bit more matte, because as you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but these definitely have more of like a glossy finish than this one does. This one actually is a very much like a flatter kind of finish. Also, this one is a little bit more moussey and not quite as creamy as the Maybelline ones are. So I don't know if that's going to translate into a slightly drier finish, but it does still feel really nice. I just really enjoy the color. It's a really beautiful, very like, again, mauve neutral, but it's nice and light, but it doesn't quite pull purple and it doesn't quite pull pink. It's a very neutral option, and I think it's absolutely stunning. So this is the L'Oreal Paris matte lip crayon in the shade 500 Caramel Blondie. So that's the shade. I think it's really beautiful. I don't see much caramel in there. It looks very much like a rosy toned mauve to me, but it is still very beautiful. And I do like the teeny tiny angled precise applicator. I feel like this would be super easy to do a quick kind of smear, and it would look really nice. So yes, those were all of my cream formulas. 40 minutes in, we've only got a couple left to go. We're just gonna kind of like shoot through it. So speaking of the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, I have a couple of the liquid shades here. The liquid Superstay Matte Inks, which are so fantastic. Again, they don't move. You put these down and they are going to be there until you decide to take them off. I will say that they're not quite as budge proof as you know what they are. They're really nice. They are a little bit more susceptible to oil than the L'Oreal Paris ones that I'm going to talk about. But as long as you stay away from any kind of oil on your mouth, they're there. They're there to stay. They don't come off when you eat unless you're eating something oily. They don't come off. They're transfer proof, almost to like the 100% mark. They're so beautiful. And I love the colors. They're so rich and warm and fully saturated with pigment. So we're going to swatch, and I'm going to show you my 4. I pulled 4 from this range, and I pulled my most used ones. So the first one being, this is the Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Chai. This is one of my absolute favorites. Again, this is a really beautiful, rich, warm color, but it's nice and dark. It still has that warmth without being a mid-tone. It's still nice and dark and moody, but it's got that, it looks very cool toned on my hand, but it's just got that richness and that slight warmth to it. I would say it's not neutral because it's got that like warm undertone to it. I guess it's cool with a little side of warmth. It is an absolutely beautiful color, and what I think is quite unique. I always get compliments when I wear this shade, just because, again, it's just an interesting color. Again, that was the shade Chai Genius. Such a gorgeous color. The next one I have is in the shade 60 Poet. This is one of my absolute favorite peachy ones. I love this color. This color is so easy to wear. It is so perfect. It is like a true like peach tone. Very neutral. Not cool, not warm. Super neutral. Super peachy. This with just a slightly darker lip liner, and it looks so natural and so like, it's a sexy color. It is a very sexy color, especially when it's done right. It brings innocence and I want to say purity. I'm getting philosophical, but it just brings an innocence to your mouth, but then a lusciousness as well. It's such an innocent color, but done right, it can be so sexy. It is absolutely stunning. I love this color. And again, this is a great mixing shade. It's great for ombres. You can put this on the center of your lips, and it really brings the light and brightens up anything you pair it with. This is a great mixing shade as well. The next one I have is in the shade 55 Driver. This one is a super neutral shade as well. I would say, if anything, it pulls a little bit on the warmer side, but it is very neutral. It's like a neutral kind of peachy, whereas this is like a pinky peach. This is more of like a cool kind of sandy peach, and this is absolutely stunning as well. This is another one of those very sexy, very classic, timeless colors, and really beautiful. This is a good mixing color as well. The last one I have is in the shade 260 Hazelnut, and I know you guys have seen me wear this before. I wear this color all the time. I just kind of love these kind of tones. Again, it's got kind of like that bricky undertone to it, but then it's got a little bit of peachiness to it and a little bit of caramel added into it. It is a really, really beautiful color. Again, this is one of those colors that can look like your lips but better kind of thing. If somebody were to just glance at you, they wouldn't think that you had lipstick on. They would just think that you had really beautiful, luscious, defined lips, and it's so, so pretty. Very, very long wearing, very, very comfortable formula. So those are my 4 favorite shades in the Maybelline Liquid Matte Ink formula. So, so good. The next ones I have to talk about are another couple of my absolute favorites. So these are the L'Oreal. I'm not sure what these are called, but they come in tubes like this. They look like this. These are the matte ones. These are fantastic. So they have a matte formula of these and a glossy formula as well. I love the glossy ones. I think the glossy ones are so perfect for like no makeup days because they're very, very sheer, but they're very, very long wear as well. And they keep your lips looking juicy and glossy, but not like overly so. Not like artificially juicy and glossy. They just make your lips look so healthy and moisturized, and they stay on for forever. So this is in the shade 301 Be Determined. And guys, I wear these over everything. These pair with every single liquid lipstick I own. I wear them all the time. But they are so, so sheer. This one has got more of that kind of like brownie, kind of caramelly undertone to it. But you can put this over any shade of liquid lipstick or lipstick in general. And it just dries down to this beautiful, like semi-glossy, but not like super juicy. It just looks so healthy on the lips. And I absolutely love it. Completely 100% super, super comfortable and really, really long wearing. I love this. I love my matte ink, but I love these. I would have to say even more. They're so good. So good. And I have had the best luck with longevity with this brand, even over the Maybelline ink, because they're so fantastic. So this was the glossy one, and then I have 3 of the matte shades. This is the shade 428 Explore. I want to show you guys the applicator as well. So the applicator is, it's angled, and it's very, very bendable. So it's very flexible, so it makes it super easy to like contour to your lips. So application is really, really nice. Very, very easy to put on. I will say that these are not quite as opaque as the Maybelline are. So this formula in general is much more sheer. So you're not going to get quite as intense of like a color payoff. But again, I think that helps it to look just a little bit more natural on the lips and feel a little bit. I will say that these are more comfortable than the Maybelline, because I definitely forget that I have lipstick on when I wear these, and that's kind of like the best part. They are not drying to my lips at all, whereas these ones can be just a tiny touch drying if you wear them for too long. These are nicely hydrating. They don't dry out my lips at all. They're super, super comfortable, and the formula is super, super thin, so it just feels like you're like putting water on your lips. They're so comfortable. I love them so, so much. So that was the shade. Really, really beautiful, and they do dry down completely and they don't go anywhere. Again, this was in the shade Explore. The next one I have is in the shade, oh, that's how much I love this color. I actually have 2 of the exact same color, so these are both in the shade Explore. So I guess I only have 2 of the matte ones to show you guys today. The next shade I have is in the shade Create. I Create, and this one is a little bit more mauvey. It's got more of like that pinky undertone to it. Really, really beautiful. Super, super stunning. And there it is. So this was I Explore and I Create. Both really, really beautiful, beautiful colors. Definitely. Guys, I like all the same colors. I am nothing if not predictable when it comes to nude lipsticks. So the next ones I want to talk to you guys about, I think are so special. Again, one of my, I think I just love L'Oreal lipstick in general because I adore this formula as well. Not only the formula, not the formula so much, because if I was to say I was really in love with the formula, it would be these ones, but the colors on these ones I just think are so, so beautiful. So these are the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipsticks. This is in the shade Le Macaron, and this is in the shade Barely Sunset. These are the most beautiful peachy tones you'll ever see in your life. This one is a very like pinky peach, but it is so sexy and youthful in a way as well on the lips. This formula is much thicker. I would compare this one more to the matte ink. This one feels a little bit thicker and a little bit moussier and a little bit just a little bit heavier on the lips. Still extremely comfortable, but very a little bit heavier. I will say that this formula is a tad bit drying, more so than the Superstay ink, but still really, really beautiful. Very, very saturated, full-bodied pigment. And that is the shade. I think this is just the most beautiful peachy rose color. It's so vibrant while still being muted and understated. I think this color is so, so special. Again, that was Les Macarons. So, so beautiful. I love the packaging as well. And I love that you can see the color in the actual packaging. The next one is in the shade Barely Sunset. I think this one is so pretty. This one has got more of that like camely, caramelly undertone to it, but it's still got like a peachy color up front. So that was this one. And again, you can tell it looks very much like the Maybelline or the other L'Oreal color. This one has got more of just like that. I would say it's got more of like a peachy undertone than the other one, but it's still such a beautiful, like warm. It's just so pretty. It is so, so pretty. I love it so, so much. I only have four. Ooh, lipstick's going everywhere. So I only have 4 tubes of lipstick left. We're almost there, guys. I could not do this drugstore nude video without putting a NYX lingerie in there. This is the XXL variety. This is in the shade Warm Up, and I absolutely adore this shade as well. I think it is so special and so pretty. I will say that the doe foot for this is so nice. It's got what you would call a reservoir tip, so you don't have to like dip in a million times to get really nice full opaque coverage. It just takes one dip and you're good to go. This color is so, so beautiful. It's got like that dusty kind of mauvey rosy undertone that I just am so, so in love with. Again, it's one of those colors that's vampy without being too much. It's moody without being like bitchy, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, it is so, so beautiful. I love this. Definitely, it says warm up, but I think that it could definitely pull a little bit cooler if you wanted it to. Again, just depends on what you wear it with. But this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful color. And this was called Warm Up, I believe. Yes, Warm Up. Okay, so the next one I have to talk about is, I have one more of the L'Oreal Infallible liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Cowboy. I love this one. This one is a very, very dusty, like caramelly color. Again, one of those like almost vampy, very dark, very sexy, but still interesting. Not like a true brown, but not a caramel and not a camel color. It is just a super, super interesting color. That was called Cowboy from the L'Oreal Infallible matte liquid lipsticks. So I also have one by Revlon. So this is the Revlon Colorstay Satin Ink. So whereas all of these other liquid lipsticks are super, super opaque and like full coverage, this one is a little bit more sheer. And I wear this one when I want, it's a very, very thin, like watery consistency. And again, the doe foot applicator is very, very different. It's very thin, but it's like stiff. And it just like dispenses the product so, so beautifully. The formula for this is a little bit more sheer. You've still got a really beautiful like pigmentation there, but it's super, super comfortable. It's a little bit more sheer, a little bit more everyday, and not quite as like full face glam as the other ones are. And I find that there is definitely a time and a place for this formula, and I wear it very, very often. Super, super comfortable formula. I would say that this one compares very much to the glossy Revlon formula. These ones wear and feel almost exactly the same. I would say that they're almost spot on dupes for each other. I will say that the Revlon has more pigmentation though. So if you're looking for something that's super, super sheer and lightweight, I would go with the L'Oreal. But if you want something that's sheer and lightweight, but with a little bit more pigment and a little bit more of like a color laydown, then I would go with Revlon. I think both have their merits and I think both are beautiful, beautiful formulas, but they are very, very, very similar. They both wear the same. They lay down, they dry down, they don't move on you. They stay where you put them, and they're completely, completely colorful. Colorful too, yes, but comfortable as well, which is the most important thing. I love this color. This was the color 003 in So Deep. So that was this color right here. Really pretty, really sheer, just kind of basic brown, but so, so pretty. And then the last formula that I have to talk to you guys about from the drugstore. This is a Rimmel. Yes, it's the only Rimmel liquid lipstick that I have to talk about, but this is the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color. This is in the shade Rosetto? No, Be My Baby. So this is in the shade Be My Baby. And this is a super, 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 so comfortable. Again, this is slightly sheer, but it's got a very, very thin, so comfortable formula. Feels like there's nothing on your lips, but it's matte. So whereas most of the other matte liquid lipsticks are kind of like that thicker, moussier, heavier formula, in order to get that like pigmentation, they have to be that like really rich kind of moussey formula. This manages to be matte and beautifully pigmented. This is it's definitely not as pigmented as the Maybelline or the NYX or the L'Oreal, but it is still beautifully pigmented. Looks very, very natural. So this is more of like a natural matte kind of situation. So this is the color right here. This was in the shade Be My Baby. It's a really beautiful light peach color. I would say it's a very, very neutral, leaning cool toned light peach color that is really, really pretty. Again, it dries down 100% completely, and it's a little bit more sheer than the Revlon, but whereas the Revlon definitely has that kind of glossy finish to it, this one is 100% matte. So if you're looking for a matte liquid lipstick that is not so heavy and not so, you want something that's not quite so like opaque and very comfortable to wear, I feel like this is a really, really great formula to check out. It is a little bit more expensive than some of the other things here, but when you find that perfect lipstick, I feel like it's kind of worth the price. And it's still drugstore, so it's still going to be affordable. But this is a really, really nice, very comfortable, thin, sheer, matte formula. So if you're in the market for something like that, I definitely say go for this. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color. Really beautiful formula, very, very comfortable. Guys, that is my comprehensive rundown of drugstore nude lipsticks. We have matte, we have creamy, we have satin, we have everything in between. And I hope you guys found at least one thing in here you're super interested in. I really tried to pull a little bit of everything. Like I said in the beginning, I really tried to be as thorough as I possibly could and really get as many brands and as many formulas into this video as I possibly could. If you found this video helpful, and if I, maybe showed you your new perfect nude, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys, and definitely let me know if my videos are helping you guys out in any way. Also, comments are always like, suggestions are always welcome. I would love to hear what you guys would like to see from me next. If not, I'm going to keep on keeping on and continue to rack my brain to try to bring you guys as much informational and entertaining content as I can. I love you so very much. All of the formulas that I had in this video will be, of course, listed in the description box below, along with everything that I have on my face. Going to be a long description box. But everything on my face and everything in this video, mostly, will be listed in the description box below, as well as the link to my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama, where I will be posting after pics. So, guys, for sure, head on over there and check those out. I always feel like you get a better idea for a look in a picture than you do the video, because the picture you can kind of zoom in on and really kind of like zero in on what you're interested in. So there's that. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera doing my makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I never use any filters or any edits. What you see is what you get. I am just an everyday mama sitting here playing with everyday makeup. I love you so, so very much. I know your time is precious, and I'm so grateful you choose to spend it with me. And until next time, I love you so, so much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And remember, you're important. Bye.